Fishing for steelhead is one of Michigan's great outdoor pastimes. Imagine 10 pounds of chrome muscle erupting from the river's surface upon the hook set. 1, 2, 3, or even more times a hooked steelhead will somersault skyward trying to throw the hook.
9, 10 pounds. Beautiful.
Just to see if it's
Ooh, looks like a male.
a real dark male. It's not that big now.
Ooh, you just scared a little one out of the run.
Pound for pound, these fish are fighters worthy of the heavyweight crown. Introduced to our state's waters in 1876, steelhead is the name given rainbow trout, which grow up in the Great Lakes and migrate upstream to spawn.
That's it. We'll get him. Yeah. Look at the red on that one.
Woo!
Double striper.
For DNR Fisheries staff, raising steelhead begins with the annual egg take. Some adult steelhead will begin swimming upstream each fall, but the main run typically starts in early March. All steelhead produced in Michigan come from eggs collected from fish that migrate up the Little Manistee River during the first few weeks of April. On this river, the DNR has installed a structure known as a weir. This structure consists of several metal grates that stretch across the river and block fish from moving upstream by directing them up a fish ladder and into holding ponds. When fisheries personnel are ready to spawn the fish, the steelhead are diverted into a long channel and then crowded into the egg take building. The fish are subdued in a tank that contains oxygen and carbon dioxide, which calms them so that workers can more easily handle them. Other species of fish, such as the brown trout or white sucker, that get mixed in with the steelhead are released upstream of the weir. Ripe males and females are separated into a tank filled with an iodine solution that will kill any bacteria and fungus on the exterior of the fish. To obtain eggs from the female, a needle connected to an air hose is inserted into the egg cavity, which creates pressure. So when the female is gently squeezed, her eggs will be released into a sterilized bucket. A male also is gently squeezed, releasing its milk onto the female's eggs. A ratio of 1 male to 1 female is used. Oxygenated well water is added to the eggs, activating the fertilization process. The water is drained off and a solution of erythromycin is added to the eggs for a period of 1 hour. The solution is absorbed and disinfects the interior of the egg. This is known as water hardening, which makes the eggs much more durable and safer to handle. Once an hour has passed, the erythromycin solution is drained off, and the eggs are placed in an iodine solution for 1/2 hour to disinfect the exterior of the egg. After the iodine solution is drained off, fresh water is added. Every precaution is taken to prevent diseases from being brought into the hatchery. The eggs are now ready to be transported to the hatchery. They are placed in 5-gallon buckets with approximately 130,000 eggs in each bucket. By the time the run ends, more than 2 million eggs have been collected. When the hatchery receives the eggs, the technicians disinfect the eggs again. The eggs then are rinsed with clean water, counted, and placed into incubation trays. Each tray will hold 3 quarts. 1 quart holds approximately 6,000 to 7,000 eggs, so there are approximately 18,000 to 21,000 eggs per tray. Steelhead eggs are incubated at a water temperature of 52 degrees Fahrenheit. Several hours later, as cell division begins, the eggs are once again very fragile. Fish eggs are grown with great care. Hatchery technicians follow many steps to ensure the success of an egg to a fingerling. The eggs are treated daily with formalin for approximately 15 minutes to control egg fungus. This treatment continues until just prior to the hatching of the eggs. After approximately 3 weeks, the eggs begin to eye up, meaning their dark eyes are visible through the egg shell. A few days later, the eggs are salt floated. This means they are poured into a tub of salt solution, which causes the non-viable or dead eggs to float to the surface. These eggs are removed. All of the viable eggs are placed into the trays to continue incubation. Hand picking of the non-viable eggs continues on a daily basis. The average survival rate from green egg to a newly hatched fry, called a sac fry, is approximately 60 to 70%. This is the period when the fish are most vulnerable. By mid-May, the eggs will hatch. At Wolf Lake, the total incubation time takes approximately 30 days. The newly hatched fry will remain in their trays, feeding on their yolk sacs for approximately 1 month. During this month, any eggs that did not hatch, or any fry that die, will be removed from the trays. From sac fry to swim up, the average survival rate jumps to approximately 90%. By the beginning of June, the fry are enumerated by weight before they are placed in rearing tanks. The fry are manually transported from the trays to the rearing tanks in the tank room. Each tank is stocked up with up to 175,000 fry. The fry begin feeding on food immediately. At first, they are fed every 5 minutes to train them to feed on the artificial pellets. As they grow, the size of their food pellet will change, and the feeding schedule is reduced to approximately every 20 minutes. After Labor Day, the fish are moved from the indoor rearing tanks to the outdoor raceways. A fish counter counts the fish during the transfer to the outdoor raceways. Although as many as 74,000 fish can be moved to the raceways in a single day, the entire process can take up to 3 weeks. Kept in the outdoor raceways from September to April, the fish's growth, health, and quality are monitored regularly. Water quality is continuously monitored to ensure that sufficient oxygen and flow is available to the fish. By April, and now a full year since the egg take, the fish are approximately 7 to 8 inches in length. The fish are weighed and placed into fish planting trucks.
17.9.
These special trucks, called stocking units, are equipped with tanks that supply oxygen to the fish during their journey from the hatchery to the stocking location where the fish are released. Stocked steelhead will remain in the stream for a couple of months before they move into the Great Lakes. When they reach the big waters, they will forage on plankton, minnows, insects, and other aquatic life. They will grow for an average of 3 years before returning to the river to spawn. A spawning steelhead averages 6 to 8 pounds, but many fish exceed 10 pounds. The state record steelhead is over 26 pounds. Now, it's your turn.
Fish!
Water. We take our showers with it. We make our coffee with it. But we rarely tap its true potential and just let it be itself. Flowing freely into clean lakes, clear streams, and along more freshwater coastline than any other state in the country. Come realize water's true potential. Dive in to the waters of pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org. $25,000 mornings, give or take, is all we humans get. We spend them on treadmills, we spend them in traffic, and if we get lucky, really lucky, it dawns on us to go spend them in a world where a simple sunrise can still be magic. 25,000 mornings. Make sure some of them are pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org. Let's take a walk. Down paths of green star stone, over dunes of Kalkaska sand, across bridges, up boulevards, along grand verandas, through the priceless and the timeless. Let's walk out of the world as we know it and into the world we don't. A new trailhead awaits. Where it leads is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
This is an opportunity for women to get outdoors. And to me, that's what this is about. It's about developing friendships, developing our skills, supporting each other. And that's what happens at a workshop. We've just got some terrific instructors that have been coming here for years that just believe in this program. They volunteer their time.
So the parts of the firearm right here, what is this?
And I'm hoping
What
that
my
these
hand is
women
on,
will
what is
go
that
back
called?
and they'll take their kids or their grandkids out. I mean, maybe a grandma will take their kids to the shooting range, and I think that would be just such a success. It's empowering. I hate to use that word because it seems so overused, but it really does let them get outside of their comfort zone. I've heard women calling their husbands saying, I want a new fishing rod, or I'm going to have to get a shotgun. You know, that's pretty exciting.
Load.
Weight on your front foot.
Pull.
You hit that bird, but your shot pattern was so dispersed by the time you got it out there. That
Wasn't enough. Okay. Hold it like that, and then just rotate the cylinder with your thumb. With this hand. Put that hand in it, like that. There you go.
I guess I look at the long run, and I see a lot of children that are watching TV or doing video games, and I think many times kids just don't have somebody to take them outside or to light that fire to get them outside, and statistics say we have to kind of catch them before they're too ingrained in TV or contact sports or video games. And if we can take them out early, we've got to educate the parents. And my thing is, many families are headed up by women, and many women seem to have a special patience for teaching this kind of thing. Maybe it's because they don't think they're the best, or they're not competitive, and they really want to share it with their children. But women seem to have a special affinity for it. And I just think it's important, if we're going to get new users, we have to get the women, get them interested, and they'll bring their kids along.